Hello, class, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 9 in Policing in the Modern Era. And if you'll notice, I only have one word up here, technology. That's because the police departments of today are starting to combat crime more with technology than anything else. And the book starts off with crime mapping. And if you'll notice in the upper left corner picture, that is a picture of a crime scene on what we call crime mapping on computer. Back in the old days, we used to literally have to take an paper uh, map of the city and put colored push pins into different places for the various types of crimes. Well, today it's made a lot easier by incorporating technology and crime scene mapping. Many of your report systems incorporate crime scene mapping. So as soon as you enter in an address and a crime, it can be plotted on a map. And that is pretty much instantaneous now. So crime scene mapping is very, very important to police work. Um, Another thing that has come a long way is the automated license plate recognition. Um, Used to we had nothing like this, and when this first came out, it was just like, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Basically, what it does is it reads a license plate as you're going down the road, and it can do hundreds of plates a minute, and it automatically runs that plate through NCIC. It records where your location is, and it tells you the time as to where you're at. That way, if you get a hit on that particular vehicle, you can go back in a particular time and know the exact location of where it was. I stated that it ran it through NCIC, so it can also tell you whether this vehicle is stolen or not. And if it is stolen, it will throw up a large um, sign on the computer telling you that, hey, this vehicle is stolen. You need to go stop it. So those are very, very nice to have. And the book says it can capture up to 1,800 plates per minute. Um, I believe this can actually do more than that now, but the problem with these, and like any other technology, is they are very expensive. Highway Patrol has these. We at the city of Tupelo demoed a couple of them, but the price was just so high that we just could not afford it at that particular time. Um, we had other priorities other than that, and that's the way most departments are. Priorities take precedence over stuff like this, which is great and would really help us out, but we need other things. Another thing that we use is websites and social media. Um, First thing we do whenever we get a suspect, we check Facebook. Just about everybody nowadays has a Facebook. So first thing we're going to do is see if that person's on Facebook and try to get any information we can from them. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Sure, there's some newer ones than that, but those are the ones that we're going to be checking out more than anything. Another thing is CompStat. CompStat was designed in New York City. That's where it was first used, and it basically stands for computer stats. It combines a bunch of different stats, gives you an analysis, accurate and timely intelligence. It's just a super fast computer that tells you a lot of statistics just at the push of a button. So CompStat, and much like crime scene mapping, it can place all of this up on a map. So it's a very great tool to have. Another thing is firearms training system, or what we refer to as FATS. Um, we actually purchased one of these right before I retired from the police department, and it basically is a computer set up with a projector and real no, yeah, actually they are real firearms that has been converted to transmit a beam of light. Um, these machines are invaluable when it comes to training. It gives you real life scenarios on how to train in dealing with those particular scenarios. If you shoot, you actually get to see where your shot placement was, how long it took you to shoot. It gives you a lot of valuable information, and it also saves a lot of ammo, which in turn saves a lot of money in training. It gave us a lot of shoot, don't shoot instances. If we shot the hostage, well, guess what? We were penalized for that. So it gives you a lot of great training in one little area without having to get out into the elements, out on the firing range, and actually throw lead down range, as we say. Uh, Another thing is intelligence-led policing. Intelligence-led policing became very important, especially after 9/11, and it is basically a way to combat terrorism. Um, it can also be used for pressing problems such as property crime, narcotics violations, and organized crime. Intelligence-led policing is basically feeding a lot of information into a computer and it telling you certain things such as probably criminal intelligence, tactical intelligence, strategic intelligence. It can tell you a lot of different things based on the information that you provide into it. And then another thing we're going to discuss real quick is evidence-based policing. And evidence-based policing is used to research into everyday policing procedures to evaluate current policies and to guide officers and police executives in future decision making. Not so sure how I feel about this. Not sure I like a computer telling me what my policies should be, but that seems to be something that is coming up fast. It has not hit Mississippi yet that I know of, but it is something that I have heard of and that was coming, and our book has it in there. So it is something that is going to be coming up fast and in the future. So, guys, another thing I wanted to point out, the upper right and lower left, these are examples of CAD. We can use CAD in so many different ways. We can use it for crime scenes, we can use it for buildings, we can use it for parade escorts, planning out a route. CAD can be used for so many different things, and it's such a great program. They're not as expensive as they once were. It still has a learning curve when it comes to being able to use it, but CAD is a great program. In the lower right, you'll see a picture of an accident. This is actually an accident reconstruction software. This is something I just wanted to throw in there because, again, reconstruction is my passion. I loved it. I've done it for many, many years. And the great thing about this type of software, it is based on a CAD program, but it's very simple. You just basically input your information and it draws it out for you. It can give you measurements. You can incorporate skid marks, trees, roadways. You can even put animation into it. You can actually have the two cars going toward each other and crash. And at the time of the crash, you can actually indent the cars. It's just a great, great program for accident reconstruction because a lot of people, when you go to court on these things, they don't really get a good visual just by telling what happened at the crash, but if they can actually see it for their own eyes, they get a better sense of what actually happened. And that's one of the things that I love about these particular programs. So again, technology, the one word we're using. There's a lot that incorporates into that. We have the CAD systems, we have the intelligence-led policing, the automated license plate registrations, and crime scene mapping. There's a lot that goes into technology, and I can only see it evolving even more and more as time goes on.